There was a forest, unlike any other in the world.
Its trees had bark that shimmered gold and deep ocean blue, as if the stars themselves had decided to live inside the wood. The rivers ran soft and bright, glowing with a pale silver light that made the water look like liquid moonbeam.
And I, Barlo Tez, greatest of all bears' bays, claim this branch for...
Enfant fort.
And one evening, without any warning at all, 3 golden trees went dark.
Pip! I need to find Pip!
He scrambled down from his branch. His heart was doing something strange.
Pip lived in the oldest part of the Luminwood, where the trees were so tall their glowing tips disappeared into the clouds.
Barlo. It is the middle of the night.
The trees went dark, Pip.
How many? Sit down, young Barlo.
Pip lowered himself with the careful dignity of very old bears onto a root as thick as a log and folded his great paws in his lap.
The frozen abyss. It has always been there, and it has always wanted to grow.
I'll go. You.
You are young.
I'm brave.
Then go to sleep first. Even brave bears need rest.
The heart flame was a great ancient fire at the very center of the Lumenwood. It fed everything. 3 trees tonight. Tomorrow, perhaps 10. A season from now, oh no, the whole forest.
Pebble the Penguin had absolutely not been listening behind the mushroom the entire time.
I am your sidekick.
I'm a penguin. Cold is my entire thing. Ice? I live for ice. The frozen abyss? That's basically my holiday destination.
Pebble?
And why is there a crowned fish?
That's a warning. I don't know yet. But when we meet a royal fish, we'll be glad I wrote it down. Pebble, the abyss is DH Atway.
Shortcut.
And you're going the Atway. Shortcut, Barlo.
Barlo looked up at the glowing sky. He counted to 3. Then he followed the penguin.
He followed the penguin.
And walked north into the dark.
Before they left, Pip found them at the edge of the Luminwood. A fragment of the old heart flame, kept safe for longer than I can remember. It is the last ember, Barlo.
Guard it. The cold of the abyss will try to extinguish it. Keep it close to your chest, close to your own warmth.
He put a heavy, gentle paw on top of Barlo's head for a moment. Just for a moment.
Are you cold already, Pebble?
No. Excited shivers. Completely different.
He looked back at the forest once, Horace. At the gold and blue shimmer of the trees. At the drifting sparks. He tucked the ember orb carefully inside the thick fur at his chest. He could feel it glowing against his heart.
Then he turned and walked north into the dark.
They knew they had crossed the border when the ground changed. One step, heft, crunch.
The trees here were not glowing. They were frost-covered, silver-barked, with long, thick...
The color was wrong. The silence was wrong. Even the air tasted of something harder and colder.
The river groaned beneath them. A low, long, terrible groan. Oh.
I don't like that sound.
Then don't listen to it.
My ears don't have an off switch, Barlo.
Ancient black ice formations. Hauntingly beautiful, but deadly cold.
The wind came. It was not a normal wind. It was sharp, fey, ice shards in the air.
Stay close! Grab my tail!
I have my eyes closed. This is my coping method.
He kept his paw pressed to his chest, feeling the ember orb's warmth. It was still there, still pulsing.
The ember's warmth kept a small circle of them from freezing.
We have to cross it.
Across the ice?
Across the ice.
That ice does not sound happy. It'll hold. Walk slowly. Spread your weight. I'm a penguin. I'm basically flat already.
Pebble waddled onto the ice at full speed, apparently his idea of slow and careful.
He sat down hard, he slid, he kept sliding tight, perfectly smoothly, gathering speed wind, and shot off the other side.
I'm fine. I meant to do that.
You meant to fall through the ice and slide across the river?
Efficient crossing technique. Very advanced.
You should try it.
I absolutely should not.
Pebble still had snow in his left ear for the next 2 hours. Barlo scrambled across the ice, carefully, and reached the other side.
Pebble still had snow in his left ear for the next 2 hours and kept tilting his head sideways to shake it out. On the night of the first day, the blizzard came. It rolled in from nowhere.
He kept his paw pressed to his chest, feeling the ember orb's warmth. It was still there, still pulsing.
He saw it, a shape in the blizzard, dark, fast, moving with intelligence.
Did you see that?
I have my eyes closed. This is my coping method.
He did not sleep. He watched the darkness beyond the rocks.
Near the deep part of the night, he heard something twinge, not the wind, a sound like breathing, from somewhere very close. There were paw prints in the snow, wolf-shaped. They circled their shelter, went around it twice, stopped, and prints stopped. As if something had stood there, watching over them, all night long.
Something had been out there, and it had chosen to protect them.
He stepped out from behind the largest of the black ice formations, and he stood there and looked at them. And he did not growl.
He was a wolf. But calling him simply a wolf was like calling the frozen abyss simply cold.
Turn back! We won't.
The cold will kill you.
Maybe. But if we don't get to the spire, the cold will kill our whole forest.
Something moved across the wolf's silver eyes. Something complicated. Pain, maybe.
Hello! Nice shadow fur.
Very dramatic. Shade stared at the penguin, an ancient wolf and a small round bird, regarding each other with great seriousness.
Have you been here long?
Long enough that I have forgotten what the Luminwood smells like. I was a guardian. I absorbed the cold. I became this.
I'm not running.
No. You are not.
They walked on, and this time, the three of them walked side by side.
So, Shade, do you live out here? Like, permanently?
Do you have a burrow, a cave, an ice palace?
Shade had not slowed or turned, but his ear had rotated toward the penguin's voice.
Shh,
Pebble.
it's all right. I don't mind the noise.
Were you from the Luminwood?
Once, I was a guardian of the border between the Luminwood and the Abyss. My purpose was to hold the cold back.
You didn't choose it.
No.
Then you're not the villain.
Tell that to the forest animals who saw my shadow and ran.
They walked on, and this time, the three of them walked side by side.
Shade said nothing. But he did not look away from her, and his tail had drifted.
The cold here was not just temperature, it was weight. Every step felt heavier. She appeared without warning, between two arching walls of ancient black ice tulst.
You carry the ember.
I do. Are you?
My name is Luma. I have been waiting for the one who would come.
She stopped before Shade, and something remarkable happened.
Luma reached out and touched the dark fur between Shade's eyes with her nose, very gently. He was the forest's bravest guardian. It was never his fault.
Pebble watched and said nothing. His flipper moved palled, slowly, unconsciously palled, to cover his chest.
The crystal spire. Luma, do you know the way?
I know the way. I know what waits there, and I know what it will cost.
Tell me.
The air here was perfectly still. Not blizzard still, dead still. The cold had won here.
The one who plants it must remain tight and pour their own warmth into it. Hold it there. Fight the cold back long.
A very long moment passed. The spire groaned above them. The terrible still cold pressed down.
I'll do it.
Barlo!
No. You will not. I have been here longer than any of you have been alive.
I'll lose the darkness. That is not losing something I wanted. Give me the ember. Barlo held out the orb. Shade took it from him, gently, with a huge dark paw.
He pressed the ember into the base of the crystal spire. The cold struck back immediately, and with everything it had.
Shade held, his paws locked against the spire's base. The warmth pushed in, a thin line of gold against the black ice.
A thin line of gold against the black ice. A hairline fracture of light. The spire groaned like a creature in pain.
He poured all of it in, the beauty, the warmth of having been a guardian, the warmth of Luma's touch.
Shade began to come apart. Not painfully. Like the crystal spire cracked. One crack. Running from bottom to top.
The forest is warm. I can feel it.
Where Shade had been standing Trang, nothing. Only a single paw print in the ice. And in
Barlo pressed his own paw against the warm spot in the ice. The warmth was real. Far to the south, barely visible on the horizon Curie, a warm gold glow. Home. The change did not come all at once. First, a sound. The frost silver trees quivered pale, and then, slowly, impossibly,
He did that. Every single spark, every glowing tree. He's in all of it.
Good wolf.
Barlo put a large paw around the small penguin and held him close. Pebble pressed his face into Barlo.
He is not gone. He is in the warmth the forest will make tonight.
Above them, the frozen sky was changing.
The frozen abyss was not gone, but it had retreated.
The black ice had lightened. The frozen river groaned Capalis, but the tone of its groaning had changed.
Are we heroes now? Because I feel like we might be heroes.
We did something important.
So, yes? Heroes?
Does being a hero mean I get a bigger fish portion at dinner? Because I feel like there should be perks to heroism, and specifically the perk I would like is fish-related. But
I don't go past here.
Why not?
Because the abyss still needs someone. To watch the border. To keep the cold from spreading.
I won't be lonely. He's here in the warmth I can. Go home, Barlo. Your forest is waiting.
She turned, and the gold glow of her walked back into the pale silver world, steady and unhurried.
They heard it before they saw it, Tumir. A sound like the whole forest breathing at once.
The Luminwood blazed. Not just glowing, blazing. Gold.
Barlo stopped at the edge of the forest and stared. The light played across his white fur and turned him gold.
Pebble didn't speak. He just stood there. And his flipper found Barlo's paw.
He did that.
Good wolf.
Pip was waiting at the edge of the heart trees, exactly where they'd left him.
When he saw Barlo, his expression did something complicated. Relief, pride, grief, love, all at once. Barlo walked forward and let Pip hold him, and pressed his face into the old bear's warm silver-brown fur, and breathed.
Did it.
Shade did it.
But you saw him. You really saw him, when no one else would have. Sometimes that is everything.
I was also extremely brave and helpful, and arguably the most important member of the expedition.
I have no doubt.
That night, the whole Lumenwood celebrated. Not to hear a speech, Murans, just to be together in the warmth.
The sparks drifted thick and golden through the dark air. The river sang. The trees blazed at their brightest.
Barlo sat with his back against the oldest golden tree and looked up through the glowing canopy at the stars.
Pebble was asleep against his side, snoring slightly, still wearing an expression of deep personal satisfaction.
Thank you, Shade. The sparks around him swirled once fee. Bright, warm, alive. The forest breathed and glowed and lived.
And the forest breathed and glowed and lived.